Just two requests here. You have to come in and we have a book to sign in if you would like to. And also the bathrooms are downstairs if you just need to. Thank you. This is such a wonderful thing to see so many people here for Mike. And I'm happy to lead our voice about them and from different aspects. So, my name is Richard Elias. I've known Sam and Mike for 30 years or thereabouts. I'll talk about that. Thank you. Basically, we're going to look at Mike in various ways that all of us knew him in different capacities. And I think we'll get interesting glimpses of him, some that we don't know about, and others that we may know about. So I'll begin. I want to welcome you on behalf of the MichaelHiggins family, and thank you for coming to the gathering of his friends and associates and family. We all knew Mike in different ways, and we all experienced different facets of his generous soul. That revealed the totality of this man and his impact on us. I will begin the story with my own observations about my facet. I met Mike and Sam, Marilyn, some people call her, some 30 years ago, as I mentioned, after their return from Florida, through our mutual friend Shirley Davis. Within a short period, we became buddies, sharing our lives with here in Connecticut and adventures in Maine around the Acadia National Park and Steuben at our summer home. Mike was enraptured with the area's beauty and its at various times, crazy activities that we dreamt up. This would be helpful, kayaking in the lakes and the bays, hikes that sometimes appeared endless because we were sort of lost. or I recall at one time during a time which Mike was a keeper of clumps of moss. Okay? That Sam wanted for her shade, her infamous shade frame. This was within the Acadia National Park, however, and it was a no-no. When a ranger appeared down the trail, Mike reacted quickly. He sat down along the path and pretended exhaustion. Carefully taking his hat stuffed with moss to the side out of the eyesight of what could have been a federal offense. We shared our October and September birthdays together every year at upscale restaurants, noted for their lobsters and Mike's favorite steaks. We also shared Mike's infectious chuckles. We shared a wonderful trip to France 10 years ago at a chateau in France's Loire Valley with 10 others. What a fantastic time we had with him. And we waited many mornings for Mike to return from Pinkham Bay Bridge in Steuben, Maine, after he had gotten up very early to see the sunrise, usually bringing back coffee for Sam and himself. There are two aspects of Mike that I must mention that should show his innate abilities and his values. We can learn from them, and I hope you take them away with you for your life, because I think he was a good guide for that. He was a man who dearly loved his family, who always was there to support, to heal, to comfort, and to mend relations in his family. During his long career with Pratt & Whitney, he was a bridge builder, an astute, trusted representative for a company who traveled the world to France, Italy, Singapore, Turkey, and Korea, and many other places, and had partners there who he worked with for Pratt & Whitney to oversee contracts and production. He was highly respected and perceptive in his meetings with these people and counterparts around the globe. Now I would like to share two written statements, one of which I'll attempt to sing perhaps, at the end we'll see. Now I'd like to share two, as I mentioned, two things. One is a poem called Elegy, Elegy, by Brian Henry, that I ran across last year in the paper. Here it goes. Those that pass keep coming back to us, whether we will their return or not. In our sleep, when we slip to resist, in books and in song, when the voice shuffles forward to call, I'm still alive, I'm still alive. Even though he's not, even though he knew that his song someday would prove false. A sometime untrue statement that no one, not even a ghost, would retract. Instead, those of us left are left to notice and miss and hurt. How thin is the human voice? It cannot keep even those who passed distant. On the other side of anything, we would call him. And now a traditional Irish lesson. And I'll try to get the right key so I don't go off. Shalom to you now. Shalom, my friend. May God's full mercies bless you, my friend, in all your living and through your loving. Christ be your shalom. Christ be your shalom. Thank you. I'd like to invite John Meyer.
Michael died peacefully the day before this. Tough for everybody. Michael brought us together today, and I'm sure we reflected on our loss and how we touched each of us in a special way. I remember Michael quietly arriving at family gatherings after they were going. He brought his great sense of humor, twinkle in his eye. Then before he was wound down, he would head home just as quietly to feed the dogs or something. Michael and I were fellow travelers. We had so much in common. Our paths first became entwined in the late 50s. We both lived in the same place as kids, in rural northwest corner of our state. We went to the same high school, Houston Valley Region. It was a small school. The student population was not particularly diverse, but impressed me as exceptionally accepting of each other. The school lay in a bucolic setting, overlooking athletic fields around which the Housatonic River curved. Large maples grew along the river's edge, the baseball diamond right in front of those trees. Michael was the baseball team manager. He looked very young back then, seemed small for his age. He grew to his full stature. Later on, my class was ahead of Michael, so I lost track of him for a while after graduation, though I still saw his older brother, Tom, who let me sleep on his apartment floor when I went to Boston on weekends. But Michael and my paths stayed entwined. We both came to the rural northeast corner of our state to stores to go to school. Then we would stay here, making this our home. We had the same reason for staying. We both married into the wonderful Samuelson family. Henry, Judith, with 3 daughters, and a large, vibrant, extended family, which included grandmothers, great aunts and uncles, aunts and uncles, and a raft of cousins. Mike and Sam met independently of my earlier connection with Michael, and then suddenly married. Henry and Jim traditionally hosted our 3 families overnight, so we could all be together for opening presents Christmas morning. Each Christmas Eve, Michael would read right before Christmas to the cousins, Todd and Kieran, Alex and Erica, Aaron and Jesse. When Mike and Sam took over hosting Christmas Eves later on, Michael continued the tradition. To this day, our kids have wonderful memories of Uncle Michael reading to them. Michael's humor was a defining characteristic. He loved to gently tease, often a play on words or a pun with a chuckle repeated to someone over and over, sometimes to the point of rolling of eyes. Long ago, I first worked for an insurance company. I returned one day from lunch break to find my office in a tizzy. Someone, Michael, had called while I was out. When they told him I was at lunch, he exclaimed, "I'll say Myra's out to lunch. She's always out to lunch." Michael and I both worked for Pratt & Whitney. Michael's long tenure there, I believe, is one of his greatest achievements. To work for them for as long as he did is an extraordinary feat. I worked for Pratt & Whitney for 30 years, and Michael got there before me, and he was working for them long after I had gone. His job was to buy high-tech engine parts, which were to be produced around the world. He helped Pratt make sure the manufacturer producing those parts could actually meet Pratt's rigid aerospace specs. His job took him all over the globe. He was a meat and potatoes guy, though. He always ate at restaurants serving American food. Michael started at Pratt as a temporary summer employee around the time Char and I married in the 60s. Once back then, Char and I were sleeping overnight on Mike and Sam's living room couch in their East Hartford apartment when I awoke to hear Michael laugh loudly in his sleep off in their bedroom. I've never heard someone laugh in their sleep. I'm convinced the laugh came from Michael's deep sense of gentle humor. Michael helped me get my wonderful job at Pratt. He gave me the name and number of the film department head so I could call and ask to be hired. One time at Pratt, I returned from lunch to see a note on my desk. Mr. Fox, Michael, had called. Mr. Fox, an homage, I suppose, to 20th Century Fox films and our film department. I used to borrow 16mm prints of theatrical films, which I screened for the family at home. This was before large screen TV. One night, things weren't going too well. I had loops of film cascading to the floor. And nearby, Michael observed with a chuckle, "John, sometimes it's hard to believe you earned your living doing this." Michael and I share a passion, trains. I crossed a pair of railway tracks every day on my way to school when I was a little kid. My school overlooked the railroad line. I witnessed their switch from steam to diesel power, and like Michael, I had model railroad sets too. I had ridden overnight Pullmans along the Upper Nile, Johannesburg to Cape Town, and New York to Florida. After Michael died, that afternoon, a few of us found ourselves walking with Sam and Todd on the old railroad deck near Mike and Sam's house on Station Road. Given Mike's passion for trains, it seemed fitting. The old train station and railroad that seemed to radiate energy. We hung out with Sam that evening. Just before leaving, we all moved to Michael's bedroom and watched Todd fire up Michael's train setup, located on a shelf running around the whole room, just below the ceiling. Whistling and puffing, the engine towed thundering passenger cars. The sound was powerful, pouring over us. The windows glowed brightly as the train swept through the room's half light. round and around. The sound seemed huge. Then the train slid to a stop. The engine still puffing, wheels churning. Over our heads, the locomotive had derailed on the corner. We all said goodbye and good night to each other, to our fellow travelers.
Now we'll have Mike's brother, Tom Higgins.
How to do this. The remembrance of Michael Louis Higgins. Some people know him as Mike, some people knew him as Louis. We often, as brothers, use middle names. That worked well until Jackie and John came along. They forgot to have a middle name. He was my brother, and to quote Sam, Mike was a kind and gracious man who had a heart of gold and the ability to make you smile. I will give you a few of my remembrances of Mike through the years. As been mentioned, he did a lot of traveling with Pratt & Whitney. The thing that I remember most about Mike in the traveling with Pratt & Whitney is he didn't like to travel. He used to moan and groan and groan and moan, but he still did it for a long time. One day when I remember, as a very young child, driving to Canaan, Connecticut, I guess with my grandfather and my aunt and my mother, and we dropped her off, my mother off, at the Canaan Hospital, which existed at that time. My assumption is that she was in labor, because soon thereafter, our life changed forever. And our life was never the same, and growing up, I always think of Michael, Mike, Louis, Lou, as an imp. Now, as we were growing up, he and I shared a room. He had a crib, one of those old metal ones with the metal bars that go down, the ones that are probably quite illegal. And he would not stay in it. He would be out of it in an instant. My parents built up the sides with some sort of wood of some, almost to the ceiling. Out he came. Out he came. He never would stay in it. And so I guess they ultimately took it down. And there was one day that someone found him. His feet were on the floor, and his head was inside the crib. How he did it, I assume he did it from the ground, and couldn't get him out. Grandfather, and he was my grandfather's favorite. I swear that to this day. Had to cut the bars with a hacksaw and get him loose. I don't remember what happened after that. You know, speaking of my grandfather, there was one Christmas day, Christmas morning, that Mike and I, we talked to my dad and said, hey, is it all right if we go down, see what Santa Claus brought? He said, no problem. So down we went, alone, the two of us. And we took apart virtually every present that was under that tree until my grandfather found us and stopped us. There was quite a disarray, I assume. I don't know how it all turned out, although I'm sure we all got presents somehow. We always had to ask Mom after that, in order to go down on Christmas morning. I guess that was probably a pretty good idea. We also, in those days, listened to something called radio. We would listen to various radio programs, and one of the ones that we listened to was the Lone Ranger. You remember the Lone Ranger? Well, they had a contest, and if you sent in an entry, you could win a cowboy, a Lone Ranger cowboy outfit. Pants, shirts, hat, guns, boots. So he sent in his entry, something about having asthma and thinking that he could, if he lived in Arizona, it would be better. In any event, he won one. I'd love to have a picture of it. Now, in the house that we lived in Salisbury, there was a room that we called the other part. The other part of the house, I assume. I don't know, but we always called it the other part. And it was full of all sorts of great things. Old wheelchairs, boxes, you name it, it was in there. One day, Mike and I were in the other part. And my grandfather worked for a company that made handles for knives. So he also had various knives within the house without handles. Well, Mike and I, there's one moment I think I'm going to lose my ear. Mike and I were playing, and he was sitting in this box, and I was sitting outside the box, and we were whacking away at the box with knives without any handles. Well, I got him in the hand, right about there. Fortunately, I didn't cut any tendons or anything, but he said, I stabbed him. He did have to have stitches, but that was, and he, every so often, even in the ladies, he pointed. One short piece, he had a birthday, and on the 20th of October, it was his birthday, and he had a birthday party. I remember this was also in Salisbury, and there was a snowstorm. It was fairly early in the season for a snowstorm back then, they still had it, but they all played out in the snow. We all played out in the snow. And then there was the time that he was chasing Gary around the house, which probably we did more often than not. And Gary slipped and fell, and he broke a tooth. And I think that probably enhanced his singing forever and ever. In grammar school, I decided that I wanted to be musical, and I was going to learn how to play the cello. It was cool because you had this big thing, and you carried it on the bus, and you only had this, only you in the cello could be able to see. Well, Mike told the teacher, the music teacher, Mr. Meter, if I remember his name, that I didn't practice. Which was probably true. It wasn't about for a minute. I mean, I still could. And Mr. Meter gave me a hard time, and I gave him the cello, and I became a non-cello player. Thanks to Michael, probably Yo-Yo is much happier. He was interested in a 1955 Ford. If I remember correctly, it was blue. The trouble is he didn't have quite enough money to buy it. And I did. And I did. So he got a Humber car. And somewhere there's a picture, and he had that car for a long time. Well, speaking of cars, I bought a light blue Firebird. And I was visiting Mike, and he told everyone that I had a car the color of puce. Well, I had some idea what puce was, but I recently looked it up, and it's pretty interesting. Puce is the French word for fleas. The color is to be the bloodstains on linen or bed sheets, even after being washed. Flea droppings or after the flea has been. That really makes me feel good about it. And one of the other times that I went to visit him, I walked in his house, and all across the living room floor are pieces, literally pieces, of an Indian motorcycle. He had bought it. It was boxes, pieces, the engine was apart, the whole thing was apart. And he said, "Of course you can build this for me, can't you?" And I said to him, "I'm not mechanically inclined that way, and I probably never will be." So the answer is no. So we sat around and had a couple beers and reminisced and thought about, oh, it would be nice when it is built. I don't think it ever got built. And then we had visitation to my house in Amesbury, Mass. And we had the whole family was there, and there was a few bottles of beer that were being consumed here and there and everywhere. And over the next 3 weeks, we kept finding beer bottles in odd places. Like in the tank of the toilet. Behind things that you never moved. They were there for, and you'll never guess who might have instigated it. You know, Michael. And there was the time that, I believe we were visiting John, and I went to go upstairs to change my clothes, and my wife mentioned that she had put them out on the bed. Now, Michael grabbed onto that, and for hours, probably years, talked about my new ensemble. This is my ensemble for today. When I came downstairs after I changed my clothes, I had no idea that this was going on. Everybody's yelling and clapping and cheering for my new ensemble. Probably a pair of shorts and a t-shirt. So we've had some comments about his humor. There were jokes, the milk baby joke, which I believe is on the program. You know, I just do the punchlines because I don't want to spend a long time writing and take hours. That's the beer that made Milk-Faney Whoppers. You know, that's the punchline of that. And then there was the one with, and this goes along with this train stuff, the story with Roy Rogers and Dale Evans. And the punchline is, pardon me, Roy, is that the cat that chewed your new shoes? My sister can picture him cracking himself up before he could even get the punchline out. Mike was a great brother. He was who we missed. Our family get-togethers will be different and interesting, and without Mike's involvement, he'll still be there. And to quote Sam one more time, Mike was a kind and gracious man who has a heart of gold and the ability to make you smile. Thank you very much. I need to put railings on these things. As we get older, we need railings.
And now if Gerald Perch could come forward. Gerald Perch. Here.
Sorry about my long meeting. I just want you to know I timed this today, and it's 5 minutes, 18 seconds. Hang in there.
Go.
I called it footnotes, you'll see why. MichaelHiggins is the reason that I get together next door at the Hampton. I thought this was in the church, so it's really not next door, it's down the street. At the Hampton Library every Wednesday with treasure.
Do the run, and almost invariably, whether he was scheduled to run or not, Mike would show up and help with the run. It was always we had a great time, and it really did help to have a third person there. Also, we take a portable train display to various train shows. And many times, the event that we're attending is the same Sunday as the train running. So Mike would say, okay, you guys stay at the train show. I'll go back to the store in Manchester and take care of the running so that none of you have to do that. He was very generous that way. And one other thing, we thought it would be nice if underneath the train tables we could have a sort of skirting to kind of finish it off and make it look nice. And Mike said, oh, I know someone who's good at sewing. Sure enough, a couple of weeks later, Mike shows up with these beautiful hemmed and pleated green satiny curtains, and it really did. You may know something about that, right? Yeah. They made it look real nice. Mike was a cheery guy. You know, as we get older, some of us get the dour, long-faced look, right? Mike never did. And just this morning, one of our members called me to say, be sure to mention this. The first thing that Mike would say whenever he saw this member was, "You're looking marvelous, Dennis." What a great way to start your day, huh? Mike was good with kids. I brought a clipping from the Norwich Bulletin and put it on the table at the back, and you should take a look at that. Because there's Mike with his cup of coffee, right? And there's some 4 or 5-year-old kid running our trains, and blowing the whistle, controlling the speed, and so forth. And Mike liked to help the kids out. Also, the train that's in that picture is the Maine Central 470, which is that locomotive in Waterville, Maine. So I don't know if that was one of Mike's trains or one of our other members, but you know, Mike was comfortable letting a 5-year-old kid, you know, run a $500-600 engine around. That was good. There's Darren, an autistic teenager from Northampton, Mass, visits our club generally twice a month, and Mike was very good, very patient with Darren. And another member called or emailed me to say how much he enjoyed talking with Mike about sharing trains with grandchildren. So Mike was really good with kids. For me, though, the biggest contribution Mike made to our club was his sensible perspective. Now, we can get into some tremendous arguments about what's the best way to join the track where the tables meet. Or should we repair the old engines or buy new ones? Or should we model the 1960s or should we model the modern era? And most of us get really hot and bothered about all that and argue and everything. And I'm sure Mike was exasperated with us on more than one occasion. But he was always quick to remind us that this was a hobby and we were supposed to be having fun. He had a great perspective on it. Not all of us were able to adopt. At any rate, I think Mike left us all with a lesson. Be calm, be kind, and remember to have fun.
First of all, I want to say thank you everyone for coming to celebrate the life of my grandfather, as I call him Papa. I'm Maddie, and while I'm very sad to be talking about my grandfather under these circumstances, I want nothing more than to express to all of you how amazing Papa was. Although he was taken much too soon, he made a lasting impact on me, and I'm sure he has made the same impact on each and every one of you. Whether you only had the honor of knowing him for a few months, to knowing him since high school, or knowing him your whole life like I did, his warmth, love, and happiness made everyone he encountered feel loved and appreciated.
He so effortlessly welcomed anyone into our family and was always eager to meet new people. I'm sure as many of you know, he worked for Pratt & Whitney for over 40 years and was able to travel the world with the company. A couple days ago, we were looking at his old passports, and he had multiple of them, and they were all packed full of stamps from countries around the world. He never missed an opportunity to see something new or push himself outside of his comfort zone. Aside from my dad, he was the most dedicated and outgoing person I know. He always had a silly joke or a funny story that he wanted to tell, but he didn't talk so much that he didn't listen to what you had to say. He was my biggest fan, and he always made sure to ask me about school, friends, or my life, anything that would allow him to listen to me talk about myself. From a young age, he took a vested interest in how I did in school and always pushed me to improve. My most vivid memories of him are showing him my report cards and having less than A+ in classes, and he would remind me that there is always room for improvement. Although this was silly, this motivated me to continue pushing myself in school, and even when I see my grades now, I always recall that there is room for improvement. As I'm sure all of you know, Papa struggled with alcohol abuse. While I'm not sure how long he did struggle with this, I do know that he was able to overcome it. Nothing makes me prouder about him than the fact that he was able to overcome this addiction and find help in AA meetings. The dedication, courage, and strength he had in being able to work through his addiction inspires me to apply the same tenacity through any trying time I may encounter. Even when he was in the hospital, he didn't lose his sense of humor and his drive to keep fighting. His wit and his warm smile shine through any situation, good or bad. There is no doubt in my mind that no matter where he may be, Papa is with me in whatever I do, just like he's with all of us. And without him, I would not be the person I am today. He taught me kindness, selflessness, drive, tenacity, and so much more. So, thank you everyone for coming today.
Now Mike's daughter.
You know what Maddie said. I'm not going to say a lot more because it's all been pretty well covered. When my grandfather passed away, my father read this poem at his funeral. And I remember not really understanding it, but I remember that it meant a lot to him. And reading it again, it has plenty of thinking. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift, uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die.
We are finished. We have learned a great deal about Mike. A lot of it is very, very fun. And I invite you, on behalf of the family, to.
Anybody else wants to say?
Oh, that's right. I forgot to.
John and Donna are going to say.
Okay, hold on, sorry.
John's going to say.
And then we have a musical.
Nobody else wants to say.
And Mike's brother and John and Val will be playing.
Nobody else wants to say.
And you're encouraged to sing along with them.
You're encouraged to sing along. The process is really easy. This song, Sam and I were at a lot of parties where this was being sung. You usually had a bottle of champagne. And the chorus is very easy. And let's go. be unbroken by and by. There's a river on my way in the sky, Lord, in the sky. I was standing by my window on a lonely cloudy day, when I saw that earth come rolling for to carry my brother away. In the circle be unbroken by and by, oh, by and by. There's a river on my way in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Undertaker, please drive slow for that money you are hauling. I hate to see the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. On my way in the sky, Lord, in the sky. I follow close behind her. I just hold up and be ready. My son, good night, and they laid her in the grave. The circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a river on the way in the sky, Lord, in the sky. I went home my lonesome. Was all my brothers and sisters crying. What a home, so sad and low. The circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a river on my way in the sky, Lord, in the sky. In the sky, Lord, in the sky.
And now it's appropriate time to close the memories for Mike. And we invite you to make sure that you've signed the book that we have for visitors here today, and also a wonderful spread of pictures to look at, and also some wonderful food that I noticed as well. So,
That you can't.
yes, I told someone to make sure I didn't touch certain things. So, anyway, thank you for coming, and drive safely.